We've been going back again and again to how many lives has been lost during Super Typhoon Haiyan, how many livelihood has been lost during Super Typhoon Haiyan. During Super Typhoon Haiyan, I have seen the hopelessness of the community. I have seen the loss. I have seen the devastation. I have seen the helplessness. We literally went back to zero. There was no basic human right when there is a disaster. You don't have a house, you don't have clean water, you don't have food, you don't have basically all the little things that we enjoy when there is no disaster. We don't have that. We can't even play as a child, we can't even enjoy our rights to education because there's no school. We can enjoy our right to protection, to development, because at that time, you're only thinking about survival. You're only thinking about how are you going to move on from this disaster. As for me, when Super Typhoon Haiyan happened, I knew that my family would not be able to support me in college because our number one um, livelihood at that time was fishing. And well, the sea was very monstrous at that time. After 6 months after Super Typhoon, it was the waves are just so big that our fishermen couldn't go to the sea, and a lot of our fishermen lost their fishing boats and other fishing equipment. We were isolated for 3 to 5 days. So we didn't have any food, we didn't have any water, we didn't have any access to sanitation and hygiene, we didn't have any access to medicine. Well, there wasn't any avenue for people to really process their trauma because the main thing is survival. The main thing is to be able to have food and water for the family. When you have not processed that trauma, then it makes you more vulnerable to the next disaster. I know people who have committed suicide after surviving Super Typhoon when there was another typhoon that came because they don't know what to do. Trauma, it freezes you out. You when you are having that panic attack when there is another disaster because that brings you a lot of memories from the past, it immobilizes you. Then you don't know what to do. And so for me, it's really important, even up until now that I'm in the US. Like North Carolina has hurricanes, and it's not that bad as it is in the Philippines. But whenever there are hurricanes happening, even if it's just, winds or like rain, a lot of rain, it gives me the trauma and it immobilizes me. I don't know what to do during those moments because what I'm experiencing is just a trauma that I have from 10 years ago that haven't been processed and the anxiety that comes with that. So I think empowering people and capacitating people includes really how to process the trauma and how to process the losses and the devastation that they have felt. We have to continue lobbying with the government and advocating for greater mental health services because we deserve that. It is our basic human rights and our mental health matters. And so we have to continue talking about it and collectively heal and collectively share things that made us stronger, even if those are painful experiences. I think the collective hope and collective pain makes a person not isolated, and we need all of that support. And if that will be coupled with proper services coming from the government, institutionalizing mental health services, and making sure that people know where to go, people know how to access them, people know that they are not free, they're not another burden to our everyday lives. Instead, that is a help from the government to our community members, so they will be stronger whenever typhoon comes.